Hi and welcome back. My name is Rajni and today in this video we will be discussing interviews. I actually wanted to make a video where I could discuss the interviewer's perspective while we are interviewing a candidate and what are some of the things that we notice in a candidate while interviewing them. So I take a lot of interviews for different companies and in this video I will discuss 7 points that I notice in a candidate while interviewing them. These points are: number 1 is preparation, number 2 is your appearance, number 3 is your attitude, number 4 is the responses that you're giving, number 5 is being present and showing interest during the interview, number 6 is your actual communication skills, number 7 is your exit after the interview. So let's discuss these one by one. First point is preparation. So the first thing that you have to consider is to carry 2 copies of your resume, because there might be multiple rounds during your interview and another interviewer might ask for another copy of your resume. So it's always better to be prepared. Also make sure that your resume is signed at the bottom. A lot of people forget to do this. One trick that one of my uncles taught me when I was little was to always carry a passport sized photo in your wallet. So let's say you get selected on the spot, they might ask you to fill a form and then the passport size photo will come in handy and you can submit your documents on the spot. Another thing is to carry any relevant documents. So let's say you have some backing documents to prove some expertise or to back your experience. During the interview is when you need to show these documents, because they will either decide to hire you or against it. So later you will not have a chance to prove that you have some expertise or any extra documents that you wanted to show. So if you have any certificates or any appreciation that you got, please carry those documents to the interview and show them during the interview. Another thing is to read up about the company. When you're going for the interview, make sure that you know the bare minimum about the company. What are the services that they're into? What is the main product of the company? So when the interviewer asks you, what do you know about our company? You should have the basic answer that I know that you've offered this service or you are into this product, and that's all I know. So just read up a little bit about the company, go to their website and read a little. Also make sure that you reach the interview venue 10 to 15 minutes before the interview. This way you have time to get comfortable, look at your surroundings, you can go to the washroom, freshen up, see how you look in the mirror and get a glass of water, and then you are completely prepared and not hurrying into the interview. If you just reach the interview right when it's the time to get interviewed, you may be flustered and you will get more nervous because you didn't get the time to get comfortable. Point number 2 is your appearance. So when you're going for an interview, make sure that you wear formal clothes in basic colors, nothing that's too colorful or bright. So if it's an entry-level job, a formal shirt and formal pants is good enough. If it's a managerial position, then a formal suit might be more suited. Make sure that your clothes are clean and pressed. I don't need to tell you this. Now, apart from clothes, let's talk about your accessories. So for men, make sure that your belt matches the color of your shoes. So they should be the same color, and also the color of your socks should be the same as the color of your pants. For women, make sure that you don't overly accessorize. So you're not wearing too much jewelry. That means too many rings or a thick necklace or dangling earrings. The lesser you wear, the better it is. So for both men and women, a good accessory is a nice formal watch which will add more flair to your outfit. So that is something that you can use during an interview. Apart from accessories, let's talk about your personal hygiene. So for men, it's a good idea to trim your hair and your beard so that you look neat and formal during the interview. And for women also, make sure that your hairstyle isn't too crazy or too fashionable. The more formal it is, the better it will be. And for women, it's also a good idea to wear some light makeup. So I don't mean that you should wear really bright makeup like you're going to the club, but if you wear a little bit of makeup, it adds to the formal look. So that's always a good idea. And if you have any tattoos, make sure you hide them during the interview. So if you have tattoos on visible parts of your body, then you can wear maybe a full sleeved shirt and hide the tattoos so that they are not completely obvious to the interviewer. These days interviewers are generally open-minded, so I'm sure they wouldn't mind it, but it's a good idea to keep them hidden during your first interaction. Apart from this, make sure you smell nice, which means you wear a light perfume. But on the other hand, don't wear too much perfume, because too much perfume smells just as bad as body odor. So just a little bit and a pleasant perfume is a good idea. So when you are focusing on what you look like and what you present yourself as, this shows the interviewer that you're serious about the interview. Third point is your attitude. So you must have heard it from everyone that when you're going for an interview, you should look confident, but make sure that your confidence does not look like overconfidence or cockiness. So sometimes I interview people and they are overconfident and they are talking too much about themselves, or they're being too stylish. I actually don't mind it if somebody looks a little nervous, or even when they say that they are feeling nervous. On the other hand, if they are being too cocky and being too loud, that is something that I personally don't prefer. It's always a good idea to be polite and to be pleasant and friendly. Smile while you're talking to the interviewer, and also make sure that everybody that you meet in the company, right from when you walk into the office, when you meet a guard or the receptionist and the interview coordinators, you are always polite and friendly with everyone, including the interviewer. Overall, you should have a positive and professional attitude. So try not to make excuses like, sorry, I'm late, or I'm just tired because I was working late last night, or I didn't get a chance to prepare for this interview, I'm not really prepared. Try not to say such negative things. And also remember that it's an interview, which means exchange of views. So it's not that somebody is grilling you or judging you and you just have to sit there meekly and just say yes, yes, yes to everything. You can have an easy conversation with your interviewer. You can comment on things that they are saying. You can take interest in what they are talking about and just have an easy conversation during the interview. Number 4 is your responses. Now let's talk about what actually happens during the interview and how you respond to the questions that they ask. Now there are some basic questions that they will ask you in the beginning, things like, can you introduce yourself, or tell me something about yourself, or walk me through your resume, what's your experience been like. I will actually make a different video for this because I will explain in detail how you introduce yourself and how you answer these questions. I will also talk about how you shake hands with your interviewer or when you meet somebody for the first time. So that is for another video. But in this video, let's talk about what you need to talk about in your interview to impress the interviewer. So what kind of responses should you give during the interview? I think it's a really good idea to include values when you're answering questions. So you can talk about things like honesty and integrity. You can talk about work ethics, about how you are loyal to a company and why that's important to you. And you can talk about taking ownership, and you can also talk about the car model, for example. So car model is about talking about a challenge that you faced and the action that you took to resolve that challenge and the result that you got at the end of it. So you can say something like, this challenge came up and I made sure that I took initiative to resolve this, and I maintained integrity. So I informed the client also that we were facing a challenge and this is how we're resolving it, and this is the result that we got at the end of it. Then you can also talk about appreciation that you got from the client after that, or if you have expertise in resolving a certain type of challenge, and any kind of achievement that you had on the job. You can talk about all these things during the interview. Also make sure that you never badmouth an ex-company or ex-colleagues, because it just doesn't come across as professional. So try to stay neutral or positive when you talk about an ex-company. Talk more about the learning that you got from that company and what you learned and the kind of experience that you had, what kind of team were you in. talk more about these things and try not to play the blame game when you're talking about an ex-company or an ex-boss or your last team. Also, another quality that you can talk about during an interview is the willingness to learn and also to show adaptability. So let's say the interviewer asks you, are you good at data crunching, or do you know advanced Excel or something like that, which you may not know. Then you can always say that actually I only know basic Excel, but I'm willing to learn and I learn really quickly. And if anybody is willing to teach me anything, I'm always eager to learn it. And also in other situations, you can talk about being adaptable. So if the interviewer asks you, would you be okay if you had to stretch a little bit or work a little extra, or how would you feel if we give you some extra responsibilities, then you should show your eagerness to adapt to that situation and to say that, oh, I would love that, because then I would be exposed to a new skill set and I would learn something extra, or that I don't really mind learning something new or stretching a little extra because I'll be learning more out of it. So these are some qualities that you may want to talk about during your interview. Fifth is being present and showing interest. So like I talked about this earlier, this is an interview, which means exchanging of your views, which also means that you don't have to sit there and just answer questions. So it shouldn't be like question, answer, and you are speaking only when they ask you a question. So here you can also ask relevant questions. So for example, they can tell you about a process and they can say something like, okay, this is the process we follow here. Then you can ask a follow-up question and say something like, oh, this is how you do it, because in my last company we were also following something like this. So here you can seem confident and you can talk about your area of expertise without sounding overconfident. So don't be afraid to ask follow-up questions or relevant questions, or to give your inputs or comments where you feel it's relevant. Point number 6 is my area of expertise, which is your communication skills. So when I'm interviewing somebody, there are certain aspects of their communication that I pay attention to. So one is if you have an MTI and what kind of pronunciation errors you are making. Now I talked about this in detail in my first video, which was about being a good public speaker. So you can go back and refer to that video to understand what MTI is and what pronunciation is all about. But generally speaking, when I'm interviewing somebody, if I feel like they have a strong MTI or they are making sound errors, that's the feedback that I would write down on their interview sheet. Apart from this, I also notice grammatical mistakes that somebody is making. So 1 or 2 errors here and there is okay, but if your foundation is weak and if you're making too many grammatical errors, then I have to capture that feedback as well. Apart from this, I notice how fluent somebody is and if their thoughts are cohesive, if their thoughts are making sense and they have a clear thought process and it's not jumbled and you're not making a lot of sense in what you're saying, then that is also something that I capture. And something that a lot of people don't realize is that interviewers can generally tell when you have prepared answers. So if you know what the interviewer is going to ask you, generally we all know these questions like what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, where do you see yourself 5 years down the line. So we know a lot of these questions that interviewers generally ask and we prepare the answers beforehand. Try not to do that too much and don't over prepare the answers to these questions, because some interviewers are smart, so they will ask either follow-up questions or they will ask really random questions that will catch you off guard. So try to be honest and relax and think on the spot and just give honest answers and focus on your communication skills, and don't focus too much on preparing your answers and giving mugged up answers. Point number 7 is your exit from the interview. So now that the interview is over, make sure that you don't rush out and run away from the interview. Stay calm and patient. If you had any papers, you can gather them, and if you had any belongings like a bag, you can slowly pick that up. Smile at your interviewer, thank them for their time, you can shake their hand. If you remember their name, then you can confirm it. You can say, "You're Rajni, right?" Or you can say, "Can I take your name again?" and also confirm their position. And once you leave the venue, you can go back home and write down their name and their position, so that later when you get a call and if somebody asks you, "Do you remember who you met?" you can always tell them that this is the person I met and this was their position. Okay, so this is a bonus point. Since I'm not from the operations team, I can't speak for them, but through my experience, I've noticed some questions that the operations team also asks the candidate, and these are some of the things that they assess the candidate on. So the first thing that they look at is your stability. So how stable were you throughout your career? How many years were you spending in each company, and how quickly were you changing companies? So obviously this will work against you, and the longer that you stay with a company, the better it looks on your resume. Apart from this, they also consider why you are changing your job. So why are you leaving your last company and why are you looking for a change? Make sure that you have a genuine answer and it's not something petty like, "I don't get along with my boss," or "they're not paying me enough money," or "the hours are too long." So make sure that it's a good enough reason for you to leave the last company and to join this one. Because they can always come back and say something like, "Well, we have similar hours," or "What if you don't get along with your boss here?" So don't fall into that trap and give a good answer to these questions. They can also consider your life situation. So if you are supposed to get married soon, or if you say something like, "I am planning to study further and I am planning to go abroad to pursue a course," then this can also go against you, because they can always say, "Okay, so you'll leave the job when you go for this course," or "What happens when you get married?" or "If you are looking to move back to your hometown," for example. So when you say these things, they can also catch on to this information and judge you based on that. And one last thing that they focus on is how badly you need this job. So any company would like a candidate to stay loyal to the company and spend years and years with that company. So if you show them the willingness that "I really like this company and I like this profile and I'm looking at this in the long run and I will stay here because I really like this and I need this job," then that will also work in your favor. So I thought I would share some of these tips also, which are more of operational questions. And one final tip that I'll give to you before I end this video is that a lot of companies have started checking your social media. So make sure that your public page on your social media doesn't have any silly information or anything that talks badly about an industry or a company. Try to limit the information that you share on your public page, and remember that they may check your social media before you go for the interview. So I hope these points and these tips will help you for your next interview, and I wish you best of luck. And like I always say, if there's a question or a topic that you have which you want me to cover, please comment below and I will try to cover that. So I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.